Does size really matter? I'm worried I'm bad in bed. What should I do? How can I turn my situationship into a real relationship? Hi, I'm Blaine. I'm a dating coach and I've been featured in Forbes, New York Times, and Insider for helping thousands of clients improve their dating lives. The world of dating can be hard to navigate and I get tons of really great questions. So in this video, let's look at some viewer submissions. I'm 31 and haven't been in a serious relationship longer than 2 months in over 10 years. I match with lots of women on dating apps and go on lots of dates, but every time I sleep with a woman, things sort of fall off pretty quickly after that. Sometimes I'm not interested and we mutually let things slide, but often she falls off completely or tells me she doesn't feel that there's a good physical connection. Sex always seems good to me, but I'm worried women think I'm bad in bed. I'm also self-conscious that I might have a smaller package than other guys. No one has ever said anything to me, and to be fair, I haven't outright asked the question when things don't work out after sex, but it's something that's been on my mind for a long time, and I wanted to get your advice on what I should do about this. Tucker from Seattle. Okay, Tucker, a few things to unpack here. So first of all, Tucker mentions that he's going on lots of dates and matching with lots of women, which is awesome, but they tend to fall off right after they sleep together and early on around the 2-month mark. Something that I would call out here is ask yourself, like, how soon are you sleeping with these women? Are you sleeping with them too soon? Because if you sleep with somebody and you have yet to form an emotional connection and figure out if you're compatible on a bigger picture level, if the sex isn't great, either one of you is going to be much more likely to abandon ship and just move on. Whereas if you make sure you are forming deeper emotional connections and seeing some sort of long-term future together prior to getting physical, you're much more likely to see it through and give being physical another shot, even if it's not perfect the first time. And let's be realistic here. It's not going to be perfect the first time you sleep with somebody more often than not. Sleeping together, having sex, getting intimate can be awkward. It usually is awkward the first time. So keep that in mind and don't put so much pressure on the first time being fireworks. This goes back to why I was saying it's important to establish more of a deeper connection prior to sleeping together if you want things to last long term. Sure, there is the case where it's a one-night stand or you meet somebody and right off the bat it's hot and passionate and there's fireworks, but that's not the norm. That's what we see in movies, and sure, it happens to some people sometimes, but if you are looking to develop a serious, long-term, mature adult relationship, it's just not always going to feel that way. Tucker also mentions that sex is good for him, but maybe they aren't having the same experience. This is highly possible. You need to pay attention to whether or not the woman is having an orgasm, if she is enjoying herself. What are the clues to this? What are the sounds she's making? What is her body language? It can be very easy, and sorry guys, I feel like guys do this more than girls, to get into your zone and be focusing on your pleasure and enjoying yourself, where you should also be spending just as much time, especially early on, focusing on her pleasure and whether she's enjoying herself. And sure, sometimes it's hard to know, you're not mind readers, so better than trying to read her mind is just being communicative about it. First of all, talking about sex and what each of you like can be hot, but it's also going to help you ensure she's also having a good time. So in the moment you can ask, do you like this? Do you want more of this? How does that feel? And let her tell you. And then really pay attention to her answers and adjust things accordingly. And then you can also have a follow-up chat afterwards as you're laying in bed together. Take that opportunity to form a deeper connection and ask her what she liked. Ask her even what she doesn't like. And show that you are paying attention so you can improve for next time. And for one of the most frequently asked questions I get, does size matter? Yeah, it matters to a degree, but there are a lot of things that matter more. If you have a smaller than average package, you are not destined to be single, and you certainly aren't destined to be bad in bed. Consider how you are using the other tools at your disposal, like your hands or your mouth, or even the rest of your body. It's about how you move and what she likes. every woman is going to be different here. So this goes back to being communicative. You aren't gonna know what she likes or what she doesn't like based on even past partners, which makes it all the more reason that you're paying attention and you're communicating about it. So don't get in your head about the size of your package. If you haven't had that feedback before, there's no reason to assume that that is the culprit here. My biggest advice for Tucker here is that he starts communicating better with the women he's looking for, and also that he takes a step back and slows down and starts paying attention to forming deeper connections. Sometimes getting a ton of matches and going on a ton of dates doesn't actually leave room for any one relationship to grow and get momentum. So ask yourself, like, are you really giving each of these women enough of a shot? And are you potentially rushing into physicality before forming deeper emotional connections? Good luck, Tucker. I've been following you for a little over a year now, and your advice gives me so much hope. Thank you for your positivity and real talk. Aww. I started seeing a girl a little over 8 months ago. We hit it off at a coffee shop, and one thing led to another, and we jumped into what we've coined a situationship, heavily fueled by the amazing sex we have. We both were in relationships that weren't healthy for us, and I think we found a happy rebound ship in each other. Our sex is next level. We both say it's the best we've ever had. We spend time together at each other's places beyond just sleeping together. She cooks for me, and I bring over wine and desserts. We hang out 2 to 3 times a week, but we've never met each other as friends or family. I was there for her through a really tough time, which led to an even deeper bond. Lately, I've been wanting more, but every time I dance around asking if she's interested in more than a situationship, she shuts down or says, no, it couldn't work as actual partners. We have an agreement not to sleep with other people without telling each other, but we can both date around. The idea of her dating other guys makes me feel sick. I'm nervous to tell her how I feel because there's so much about what's going on that is so good. I'm not in a rush to have kids or get married or anything like that, and I worry if I broach the subject of actually trying to date, she'll just want to end things altogether, and that idea makes me so sad and scared. I feel stuck. What should I do? Eric from Philly. Okay, Eric, I recognize that there is so much good happening here. You're getting gourmet meals, you're having amazing sex. What could go wrong? A lot. You're already in a situation where, based on what you've said, you know your priorities aren't aligned with hers. You have caught feelings, and being straight up with you, it doesn't sound like she reciprocates. And I'm not saying you have to just straight up walk away from this situation. However, you are going to be in a world of hurt if you continue pursuing this, just hoping that one day she will open her eyes and realize she wants something more with you. My advice to you is to have the hard talk, have the honest conversation, and see how she feels. On one hand, she might say, okay, you know what? We have a lot of good here. I'm open to giving this a shot. And on the other hand, you're right. She might say, I don't feel the same way, in which case you shouldn't wait for her to walk away. You should walk away. You deserve all of these good things along with somebody who wants to introduce you to her friends and family and who wants to be there on that next level for you. And if she can't be that person, the best thing you can do for yourself is move on, even if in the moment it is going to be hard. You mentioned that you're allowed to date other people, but you need to tell the other one if you sleep with somebody. Well, this can seem like a good idea. It almost feels like you get to have your cake and eat it too. The fact that you're catching feelings means you are not going to have enough emotional capacity to really be open to developing something serious with somebody else if you are still sleeping with this woman. Like I said, Eric, I feel for you here. It sounds like you have a lot of good things in this situationship, but my recommendation to you is to rip the Band-Aid off, tell her how you feel, and then take the necessary next steps, because the longer you wait and the deeper you get, the more it's gonna hurt in the long run and the longer it will take to get over it. I'm rooting for you. Keep us posted on how things turn out. Whew, those were some good questions. And thank you for submitting them. Dating can be hard, things are confusing, and I know it sometimes is just helpful to get an outside objective perspective, which is what I'm here for. If you have questions about dating specific situations or just anything going on in your dating life, check the link below and you can anonymously submit it there. Tap that subscribe button and ring the bell so you're the first to know when I upload new videos weekly. Thanks for watching.